There we go. That's a little better. How's everybody? How's everybody? It's so good to see everyone today. We are back with our lives. I had a lot of soul searching to do, and over the Thanksgiving holiday, I came to my decision on how I wanted to handle my lives, and I did start a group. It's called Devine Designs. It's a Pink Poodle crafting club on Facebook. So if you've not joined that, make sure to join that. Um, there, we're just basically going to do crafts, do jewelry, do anything that relates to the crafting industry because I love jewelry making. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of other interests that I've always had as a crafter as well, and I'd like to share that. Paper crafting was actually my first love, so that's what we're going to do today is some paper crafting, make some cards and things like that. I also enjoy crocheting. I've dabbled in clay. I've done diamond painting. I mean, the sky's the limit on what I have not dabbled in. So we will be having some fun and enjoying our time together and just making some fun crafts. As I said, we are going to be making some Christmas cards today. I thought that would be a fun thing to do for the holidays. And I'm hoping that, like, maybe next week I have an idea to make a decorative box that you could put a gift into. So just things like that coming up that will be super fun for jewelry makers as well. Because even if you're a jewelry maker and you can make cards. You can make cards to put in with your jewelry that you make. You can make cards to send for Christmas. And as far as the decorative boxes, we could definitely use those as well. So a lot of opportunities here to kind of cross jewelry making and paper crafts and everything else together. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around and we're going to get started. It just takes a minute for it to turn around. I don't know why it takes so long, but in general, it tends to. So I have a much higher view today, guys, because we are going to be having other tools that we don't normally use that are bigger and take up a bit more room. So I want you to be able to see what we're doing. So here's a couple examples, just a couple cards that I made. Basic, fun. There's a lot of different things that you can do with card making, a lot of different items you can use on them. This is just going to touch on a few. But this is one that I did. And this one is made strictly with like paper products. This is washi tape at the bottom. If you've not heard of washi tape, it is a beautiful tape that originated in Japan and now is used in crafting projects. But I've just used paper and tags and stamps and ink on this one. Okay. And then you can write your note inside. If you want to stamp inside with a message, you certainly could. And then this one, and we may make other varieties. We will make different varieties of these today, but I do definitely want to show you this snow technique because I thought that was super fun. This is very simple. On this one, I just covered the whole back of the card with some paper, and then these are from Dress It Up buttons. This is my absolute favorite mix with Dress It Up buttons for the holidays, and it is called, let me get the tag out for you, Reindeer Magic. And then this comes from a beautiful mix that's called Sparkling Snowflakes. And I've used this in so many videos for the holidays for Dress It Up buttons. It's not even funny. So they're probably like, hey, we have other buttons, but I enjoy them. So what we're going to do, oh, hi, Terry. Popping in for a bit, but we'll need to leave in a bit. Okay, no problem, Terry. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining if you get a chance. This goes for everyone. If you're watching the replay, if you're watching now, give us a share, give us a like. We always appreciate that. So we're going to get started. Now we're going to do this one first with the glitter on the bottom, the snow look, because I found these buttons, and these are called Have a Cool Yule. I think they're so cute. And they have these snowmen and then these really pretty trees behind them. So we're going to try that. I'm going to set my cards that I've made over to the side here. So basically what I do, you're going to have to bear with me because a lot of my stuff is kind of crammed in here only because I've been doing jewelry at this desk for so long, and you need much less room to do jewelry than you do paper crafting. But I think we'll be all right. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. This is my paper cutter. I'm sure you can see that, but this is 8.5 by 11. Now what I do to get this size of card, and you can make bigger cards if you'd like to, but to get this size, what I do is it's by 11 here. So I put my little measure up like so, okay? And then I just go to the 5.5 inch mark, because then that's going to give me the 11 inches that I'm going to need and divided by 2, okay? So we're going to go to the 5.5 mark, and I'm just going to close my little trimmer and just go down the center, and then you have card blanks. It's that simple, okay? And we're going to be using this again, I'm sure of it. So basically then once you get your card blank, you're going to take and fold your card blank in half, just like so. And then I have just a little bone folder. This isn't bone, but this is plastic, but I couldn't find my bone folder, so we're going with this one. So, and I'm just going to crease that very nicely so it has a nice fold on it. Just put it in half, and there you go. There's our first base. Now, what we'll do first, I'm going to set this to the side for our decoration part, is we're going to take a piece of white paper. This is just a scrap that I have, and I'm going to cut it a little bigger than what I would want it to be on the bottom of my card. I'm just going to cut a straight line on that, and we're going to get this approximately this size. You make it as wide or as small as you like it. And then what I'm going to do with this paper first, before we do anything else, is I'm going to tear it. I'm going to pull forward and just give it, up and down tears, kind of just go with the flow of how it's the paper is going when you pull on it, okay? And that gives you the edge that kind of looks like snow already, okay? So then we have our card base here. And this is just for measurement, because we want to do the snow first before we even put our paper on or anything. So then that way it can be drying while we're working on other items. I did have scissors here somewhere. Well, we'll just do it with this trimmer until I figure out what I did with those. So I'm basically going to lay this on here, and then I'm going to fold it in the area that I want to cut it. You can trim it with scissors. You can use your paper trimmer if you happen to have one. Okay. And we're just going to cut that so our piece fits better on the bottom of our card. Because when you're doing the glittering and all that, you want it to be ready to put on once it dries. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, again, set this to the side. And then I have a piece of paper here that, use whatever you like, but get a piece of paper out. This is one that I've used before, you can see. And we're going to take a little bit, I'm going to just use some Elmer's glue, and I'm going to put it in a bowl here. Okay. Just a little bit. We don't need much, just one of those dollops. Don't ask me why I have this huge container of it, but that's a crafter for you, I guess, huh? So once you do that, then I have a sponge brush here. And I already have my glitter out that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this fine glitter that has like an iridescent shimmer to it. And I'm just going to take my foam brush and dip it in my glue and just cover the whole piece of paper that we just ripped. Okay. And you want to make sure when you're doing this that your paper is not sticking to the other paper, because yes, this is glue, the paper below it. So once I get that on, I'm then going to flip this over and put it on a clean side. Okay. You can see it kind of folds up a little bit, but you can hold it so it stays kind of flat. Open up your glitter. The back end of the Sharpie also makes a decent bone folder substitute. Great idea, Terry, as always. And so I think I'm going to take the cap off of this because it's coming out really slow. And then we're just going to cover this in our glitter. Okay. I used the chunkier glitter on the first one. Use whatever you'd like. And I'm just going to cover it pretty thoroughly because I like when it looks like it's nice and fluffy from the snow. And then we're just going to tap that off just like so. And we're going to lay that to the side for a bit just to dry while we're making our base. And the reason that I did this on a piece of paper, which you may or may not know, is because then I can fold this paper with my glitter in it and then put this glitter back into the bottle it came out of. So I'm not wasting my product. Okay. So put the lid back on that so we don't spill glitter. My husband calls glitter a scourge, but he's not fond of it, I guess. But anyway, so then we're going to pick some paper for the back. And here are our buttons again that we're going to be using. Let me open these up. And so you can kind of see what colors we're using there. So I think I might just do, I have some red glitter paper that I saw here. Yep, there it is. And this is just a 6x6 piece of paper. You can get 6x6 pieces, and they make these little Christmas pads that you can get. You can get the great big ones, the 12x12s, but you can also get the smaller ones if you don't think you're going to be doing a lot, with your paper. So basically all I'm going to do, guys, I just have this. This is a Tombow adhesive. And I'm going to go around the edges of my card. Just like so. And through the middle. And I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to start it here in the corner of my front. And then run this along the bottom so it's right along the edge. And press this down on my card. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut off the excess. And I'm going to just do that on my paper trimmer. Just making sure that I am not cutting my card. Oops. Put that back in there. Okay. And I think I may be due for a new blade since it's been so long since I've used my paper crafting materials, but just making sure again I'm not going to cut my card. All right, I think that's good. At least it should be. All right, let me grab some scissors. And I'm just going to complete that line just with my scissors here. And I'm going to go back here once I get the bulk of it off, and I'm going to cut this nice and neat. Try to have a sharper blade than I do on your cutter. Makes a big difference. Okay. So there's our little card. There's a little bit of white peeking out here, so I'm just going to even out that so it's not sticking out too much. Okay. So now we have that. What we're going to do next, this is just the base of our card. You can see. That is one thing I love glitter embossing powder for. It tends to behave a little better. It does. I do have quite a bit of embossing powder. I was looking at that, and I will be using that in the future to show you guys how to do it if you don't know, like Miss Terry does. But that's coming down the line. So here's our piece of glitter. And it looks like maybe we had a little boo-boo there. So let's put a little bit of glue back in that little area. And just put a little bit more of our glitter on. And we can leave the cap on for this since it's such a small area. Okay. That's all. I mean, we're just kind of making sure that it's nice and covered and looks nice. Okay, so I'm going to run my tape runner down the bottom here across. And then I'm going to put our little snow that we made on there. Okay. I'm just going to tap that lightly because it's not completely dry and I don't want to ruin my glitter. And then we're going to start decorating. So we have our little trees, and basically what I do is I just lay out the way I want things to look. So like if I want these here, I don't know yet, but what we're going to do now is we're going to take our cutters, and I have some buttons here these are buttons that have shanks on the back. These were buttons that have no shanks on the back, so they just lay right down. If you have shanks, just make sure you're cutting the shanks off before you glue them. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just cutting my shanks off. And I'm going to just double check this one. It looks like it still has a little bit sticking up on it. You want them as smooth as you can get them so they lay nicely on your card. Okay. So let's see. And I'm just going to lay these out. I saw a little hair or something on him. I don't know. Must be gone now. The way that I want them. So let's put one of our trees down lower and one of our trees up high. And then we'll put our 3 snowmen in the middle. We'll put him down in that little divot. And then maybe our little blue one right there. Or maybe we'll put this here so we have some more room to spread everything out a little bit. But you get the idea. You're just basically making a little scene on the front of the card. Okay, and I'm just going to take, I just have some super glue here. You could, E6000, something like that would probably work just as good. But this is what I have sitting here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my little tree on. And it does take about 90 seconds to cure. So we'll see how it does here with the paper. Again, like I said, E6000, hot glue, any of that would work. I'm just going to put that on. I think I am going to grab my E6000 because I don't know how well that's going to cooperate. Or my B7000. Whatever you got works. So we'll put some of that on the back as well. I think that'll hold it better for us in place. Just put it right back where it was because you have that wet spot there and you don't want that to show up. Yeah, it's making the paper bleed a little bit, so not necessarily a paper crafting glue. Okay. And same thing here. Put your little snowman. Need to put some more on that. Hot glue would set up the quickest for you. I just didn't feel like dragging out my glue gun today. Okay. I think that's where I'm going to want him. And then our other little snowman. Okay, now keep in mind, guys, if you're going to send this kind of card through the mail, you're going to have to pay extra postage and or use a padded envelope and or use a padded envelope to send it so it doesn't get ruined. But you can also just give these to people in person, the ones with the buttons on the front. I hear you, honey. We have a poodle behind us making noise. And then I think I'm going to take, throw my stuff, some snowflakes and put them in the sky and maybe put like this gift here. You can build on it. Just make it a really cute little scene. I don't know if you can hear Arwen back there. If you have a circle punch, you can do ornaments for different scrap paper than a ribbon to hang them from the top across the card or metallic Sharpie. Nice. It's a great idea. Very good idea. So let's put our little gift here. And guys, if you notice my hands are shaking more than normal, which they do normally shake, but I'm having some arthritic issues in my hands, unfortunately. So we are going to then cut off the shanks on some of these snowflakes and put them on. And then, where are my other snowflakes? I got some in here. I make a big mess when I do this kind of stuff too. I'm always making a mess when I'm doing cards and paper crafts. Well, I can tell you, I make a mess with most of the crafts I do, even my jewelry, all that stuff as well. And then one more. I think these are super fun to make. I like having that creativity, you know, to be able to do whatever you want. I'll put one there. And let's do one more just to make sure we have an uneven amount so it's pleasing to the eye. And we'll do one up here in the corner, I think. So that's it for that card. Very cute, very simple. If you didn't make a mess, did you even craft anything? Very true, my friend. So we're going to set this off to the side to dry because we don't want anything coming off. But I'm really pleased with that. And then you could stamp a message inside once everything dries. If you have stamps at home, like Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, you could just take some black ink or whatever and stamp your inside. And there you have a really cute gift card. You could even use these on, like if you have a special gift for someone, you could use this as the card on top of your gift as well. And I think that would... I would like that. Someone would give me that. But so there is our first one, guys. So let's move on to just doing one with paper crafts. If you don't want to spend the extra on the shipping or the envelopes and all that, then you can do a flatter version using paper. And then that way you're not paying that extra shipping. I do have these raised up just slightly, but it's not enough even to make a big difference, So again, we're going to take one of our bases that we cut and fold that in half. I'm going to pull out my little, this is just a little cheapy plastic cutting board I got at Dollar Tree that I use to keep the mess when I'm stamping to a minimum. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to fold our little card. All right, and then we're going to get out stamps we want to use. And I think, let's see. I think I'm going to use this snowflake in place of the tree and then use this other tag. So we'll kind of go with those colors. Actually, let me see if I have a snowflake on this other one I've cut already. So, yes, I do. So I'm going to put that over here because I don't want to use that just yet if I don't have to. And just a heads up, guys, one of the girls is in here, the other one's out around in the house. So if you hear them, that's the norm at our house. So here's our little snowflake. I do like this saying of let it snow as well. I think I'm going to cut that one out. And that's with these papers that you can get. They have such cute little things already in them, that you can cut out words, sayings, things like that you wouldn't even have to have stamps to do a card. And I'm just cutting these out as neatly as I can. And I want to see what I think I'm going to do. And there you have it. There's Esme. And I'm going to cut out this tag. And I'm wondering if I can put that in the center. I'm not really liking that. So we're going to put some stamps on this first before we glue that on there, because I'd like to have a little bit more of a background on this tag. So I'm just going to take my stamp with a little bit of ink. I like this pastel minty color I'm going to use. And I have my snowflake stamp, as I said. And I'm just going to put some snowflakes stamped in the center, so there's not this great big white opening on our tag. Okay. Whoops. All right. And then you can go ahead and take your little saying and put it on. I'm going to put some raised squares underneath because I want it to kind of pop up. So I'm going to do that. Okay, Terry, thanks for joining in, honey. Take care. Have a good day. So we're going to, I'm just going to take those tabs off, and we'll have our little exposed glue tabs there. And then I'm just going to center it on that. All right. So this, I'm actually, I think, no, I'm going to cut off this edge. It has a little bit of the blue on it, and I don't want that. I'm going to take, and I'm going to mount this onto some of this green paper, because this is going to be our little saying after we stamp the background. We just have not got there yet. And also sometimes, like on these things, I'll take some ink along the edge. Like that one's not showing up real great, but I have a turquoise one that I like. It shows up pretty good. And you can just go around the edge with it like that, and it'll make it pop off of your background better. We could have even done it with the Let It Snow if we wanted to. And you just simply just taking your ink along, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put these on because I will get it all over myself, which I have already. But it's funny how my dog just sits there and stares at me and wonders who I'm talking to. Cracks me up. Just cracks me up. So I'm just going to even this out a little bit more so it looks a little more square. Okay. Versus the odd shape. There we go. And I'm just going to put, actually I'm going to put some squares on the back of this one as well. These are so fun. They just lift it up just enough to kind of make it pop off what you're using. And you can single mat these. You can double mat them. Like this tree that I did for this one, I double matted it. I put it on white and then the green. And then we're just going to put it on the corner here. This is the lazy man's way of making a mat for behind something. I've done this as long as I've been scrapbooking. This is how I've done it. So I'm going to take and just put this where I want it. And you can see the edge there. I'm just going to cut that. And then do the same thing on this side. Keep everything nice and flat on my trimmer. Just like so. And we're going to set these to the side now. And I'm going to take this snowflake stamp that we used a little bit earlier. And I'm going to take 3 colors of blue and green. And I'm going to stamp some snowflakes on here. Now, make sure when you're stamping that everything isn't perfectly on the paper, because what gives it interest is if you can kind of have them going off the paper in certain areas. So I'm going to stamp all the ones in this color that I want and then go to the next. And like I said, have something underneath so you can kind of set it off to the side. And you definitely want ones in the middle as well, but this makes it look, just has a more professional look to it when you do it that way, when you have a little bit of it coming off the side. Okay. Okay, there's our green. And then we can go on to our blue. Hi, Melanie. Hi, sweetie. Glad to have you. Yes, Terry has actually just stepped away for a bit. She had somewhere she needed to be, but she is going to finish up, watching the replay. And we're just stamping the blue now. And then I'm going to do some of our turquoise next, just a few, just to do the background. Okay. This one's a little darker, so it'll pop off a little bit more. And we just do some on the edge. Once that's done, you want to make sure and clean your stamp. I have this stamp cleaner from way back when, and it looks like I got some water on it. But that's okay. You just basically spray one side of it with a cleaner or just some water, and then you rub the stamp on it, clean it off, and then rub it on the dry side. Simple. It's a nice way to clean it, or you can use baby wipes if you have those handy. Okay, so now that our background is done, I think I'm going to take, let's see, so I want to see where I want to place our little creations that we made with our paper. I'm still feeling like this one's off a little bit, but I think I'm going to do it this way. Just take my scissors in and just even everything up a little bit. Okay. And then I think I'm going to put this on kind of in a diamond shape, the snowflake. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of my adhesive. I just bought a lot of scrapbook paper and paper cutter making paper beads. Fun, fun. Yes, I have done that. It is very enjoyable. And then we're just going to put our little snowflake on and put some adhesive on the back of our words here that we have and place it on our card where we want it. I want to make sure it's straight. Move it over just a hair. Just so cute. And I have some of this blue snowflake washi tape. I think I'm just going to run along the bottom just to give some interest. Just like that. And what I like to do is I cut just a little bit, leave a little bit of an edge on it, and then I take my edges that I've left and just fold them over around the front of the card. So then you don't have the edges pilling up on you on your card. Yeah, I have not made cards, and I can't tell you how many years, Melanie, and I miss it. I miss my paper crafting. I love jewelry making, and I will always be a jewelry designer and maker, but I just feel like right now I need to kind of not take a break from it, because we will still be doing classes making different jewelry items, but maybe just kind of, put some other crafts in with what we're doing. I think most of us who make jewelry we do multiple crafts. I think that's just the norm. And for me, I get bored easily. So it's kind of hard to stick with something, although I've been making jewelry for 15 years. So, but here are our finished cards, guys. I hope you like them. This one we just made here, Melanie, or whoever, if you're coming in late, this one was made with some dress it up buttons and some glitter on some white paper. And then we did this one. If you don't want to spring for the extra money it would cost to ship something with those raised items on it, we made something just with paper. That'll be a little bit easier just to put in an envelope and to mail. Yeah, I think that's very common in crafters, that that most of us do all kinds of different crafts. And I don't think I want that there. I was just looking at it. I thought it would be cute, but that's plenty. We did plenty there. So I'm going to turn the camera back around here, guys, because I have been crafting the entire day today, making videos and all that fun stuff. So love the tree paper across the bottom, or is it washi? It was washi, Terry. When you come back to watch this, I'm sorry I missed that question. It was washi. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around and move this one down. There we are. So guys, I thought that was kind of a fun thing to do for us, something different for the holidays, just to kind of, enjoy yourselves a little bit. So next week, what I'm planning on doing, I have cigar boxes, okay? And I'm thinking we'll decorate some cigar boxes. My cousin Tammy actually showed me how to do it and to put the little feet on it, and really cute stuff. But that's what I think we'll be doing next week. So we can make a gift box for our loved ones if we want to put a special gift inside of. You don't have to use cigar boxes. The Potomac Beads box that the Potomac Beads come in their monthly kits. Those are just perfect. Or if you just have a little cardboard box, you can do it with any of that. It does not have to be a cigar box. The cigar boxes are wood, so it does make it nice, but you can use whatever you have on hand. We're going to use some decorative paper. We're going to use some cabochons that I have. I've gotten some acrylic cabochons that I put on, and the sky's the limit. If you have some ephemera hanging around, stamps, whatever, pull out some fun stuff, and we're just going to create next week. And don't worry, guys, we will get back to jewelry. We'll have some jewelry in between. We'll probably do that, not next week, but the week after, we'll probably do a jewelry video. So don't worry about that. We'll always have that. Potomac, you have a lot of those Potomac boxes? Me too. And I have them sitting here because I think they would make perfect little, it's all kind of really washed out, but they would make perfect little gift boxes. You could cover with decorative paper. And then I've got a variety of things in here. I'll show you next week. I have little feet. I have just got off AliExpress. I have little little tiny drawer pulls. I just have some, these I think are neat. Oh yeah, those are metal, but metal beads that you can just use as feet, anything like that. Just look around and see what you can find, and we'll do our decorative box next week, guys. So again, I'll let you go for this week, and I'm going to get my mess cleaned up because we all know we make a big mess when we craft. So it was nice hanging out with you guys, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget to head over to my Devine Designs, a Pink Poodle crafting club on Facebook, and join in. I'm always going to have all the live videos and all this kind of stuff is going to be there, and as well as some inspirational things. So enjoy. See you next week, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.